Tonight, the top education official in Oklahoma directing all schools across the state to incorporate the Bible and the Ten Commandments into the curriculum, the new requirement for grades 5 through 12, effective immediately.
Every teacher, every classroom in the state will have a Bible in the classroom and will be teaching from the Bible in the classroom.
This really shows what is coming. We should be for and pro things that are good for the country, but not at the expense of forcing people to do something against their will. God is not a God of force. Hi everyone, and welcome to another Prophecy Wire. I am Mackenzie Drebbett. Today we're going to be talking about what has taken place over the past little while. And this is, at first, we had the Ten Commandments need to be displayed in the public schools. Now we have states that are making it mandatory and forcing people to have the Bible taught in their schools. So let's take a look at what people are saying and what this means for us and America. So if we look here, it says Oklahoma schools now required to teach Bible, 10 Commandments, superintendent. So this is something that is going to be coming more and more. Oklahoma State superintendent announces all schools must incorporate the Bible and 10 Commandments in curriculums. So this is going to have to be part of the school curriculum. Oklahoma schools head Ryan Walters, teachers who won't teach Bible could lose their license. If this isn't a religious law and removing that separation of church and state, then I don't know what is. This is something that we need to be talking about, and we should not be pro this. This is against people's conscience. This doesn't give them the freedom to do what their belief system is. This is forcing a certain religious ideology, and unfortunately, it's not going to be the true ideology. It's going to be a false one. If we look at Revelation 13:15, and he, speaking of Protestant America, had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So this is going to lead to something very, very bad and catastrophic. And they're going to attempt to even remove from the face of the earth these people who don't go along with the system. And they're going to be convincing people that this is good and this is from God because it's from the Bible and all of these things. John 16:13, howbeit when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whosoever he shall hear, he shall speak, and he will show you things to come. So we see this coming. This is not something that we don't see coming, and unless we're being caught off guard like a thief in the night because we haven't been aware. This is what Paul was saying, that those who are caught as a thief are those who were not aware of the events that are coming. Now we have more and more of these political figures being influenced by these faith leaders, right? They're faith leaders that are trying to impose these religious mandates. And this is extremely dangerous. This is exactly what we've been talking about for so long at Amazing Discoveries, and what we've been seeing prophesied in the Bible, that this is going to come to America, and then America is going to bring that globally. So, Again, states making push to incorporate religion in school curriculums. Now, I want to share a clip here, and this will exactly show you what's happening.
Turn now to Oklahoma tonight and the new ruling involving the Bible in public schools. That state now mandating teaching the Bible in schools effective immediately, calling it an indispensable historical and cultural touchstone. Here's Matt Rivers tonight.
Tonight, the top education official in Oklahoma directing all schools across the state to incorporate the Bible and the Ten Commandments into the curriculum, the new requirement for grades 5 through 12, effective immediately.
Every teacher, every classroom in the state will have a Bible in the classroom and will be teaching from the Bible in the classroom.
Oklahoma Superintendent Ryan Walters calling the Bible a necessary historical document to teach our kids about the history of this country. The move coming just days after Louisiana became the first state to require all public school classrooms to display the Ten Commandments, Texas and Utah weighing similar laws. Civil liberties groups are already suing Louisiana, arguing its new law is unconstitutional and violates the separation of church and state. Exactly. Today's move by Oklahoma, they say, is part of a larger trend.
I think they are emboldened by this Supreme Court. I think the religious extremists saw the success they had with Roe versus Wade and are feeling emboldened all around the country. That is one of the reasons you're seeing this wave of Christian nationalism rising right now.
David, Oklahoma will be giving its school districts instructions on how to implement this policy for the upcoming school year, but the state superintendent says strict and immediate compliance is expected.
This really shows what is coming. This is totally against the Constitution. This is combining church and state together, mingling of churchcraft and statecraft, and we should be extremely nervous. We should be extremely nervous when we see these things happening, and we should be for and pro things that are good for the country, but not at the expense of forcing people to do something against their will. God is not a God of force. And this is not a godly position to be taking to force people into a certain religious mindset, even though we think that it would be good for them. And we know that this is not going to stop there. This is going to go farther and farther and farther until it almost cannot be stopped. And the only thing going to stop it is the final great battle and Jesus' second coming. But we have now, actually, before we continue here, I want to go over something in Revelation chapter 13. And we've been talking, we go to Revelation 13 all the time, and we need to be so in tuned to our Bibles that we know exactly what is taking place in the end. So when we look at the flow of Revelation 13, we need to see that this image of the beast needs to be fully in place before the mark is enforced. Okay, so this image of the beast means that it's going to look and act exactly like the beast. So we need to have a fully religious church-state unification before the mark of the beast gets enforced. In other words, verse 15 comes before verse 16 and 17. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So in the hand and in the forehead, and we've talked about this before, it's in what you do and what you think, and what you're convicted on, what you believe. And the devil doesn't care which one he gets. If he just gets you to go along with your deeds, or if you're totally bought into the lie and to the deception. So this image is going to be formed. We're going to see an entire church and state unification, and then this Sunday law, this mark of the beast, this law, this anti-Sabbath law is going to come to fruition. Now, I want to read to you a very interesting quote. And it goes into how this has happened. Evangelists should be finding their way into all the places where the minds of men are agitated over the question of Sunday legislation and the teaching of religion in the public schools. Did you know that this was talked about over 100 years ago, that this is going to happen? We're seeing this play out exactly right now. This is why we have to be diligent students and we have to know what is going to happen. This teaching the religion in the public schools, it is what is going to lead to Sunday legislation. And we should not be forcing people against their will to do this, and we should not be pro something when we know what the end goal is. Now, if this is something good, then we should not be opposing it because we think it has a connection to Sunday law. We're very clearly told that we need to uphold right standards. Now, because of these right standards, we think it might lead to something worse. We still have to do what is right. We can't promote doing something wrong because we think that it'll go in the wrong direction. We have to do right always because it is right. And teaching religion in public schools is not right. It's not that it's right, but it's leading to Sunday law, so we shouldn't do it. No, it's that it's not right because it's forcing people against their conscience. This is not something that God would approve of. Back to the quote. It is the neglect of Seventh-day Adventists to improve these providential opportunities to present the truth that burdens my heart and keeps me awake night after night. And this is exactly what we're trying to do here. So make sure you share this with people because people need to know that this is a sign of the times. This is a sign that Revelation 13 is fast fulfilling. This is a warning. This is a warning. There is a storm coming, relentless in its fury. Are we prepared to meet it? We have storms spoken of, antitypical storms spoken of in the Bible. We have the flood of Noah. And Jesus said in Matthew chapter 24, Matthew chapter 24, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. There's a flood coming. There's a storm coming. Are we prepared to meet it, or are we going to be swept away by all the events that we have been warned about? We should not be taken as a thief in the night. Now, we have examples of this. The first one we just seen was in Revelation 13, that this image is going to be set up before the mark. Now, we're going to go to Daniel. The book of Daniel, chapter 3. The book of Daniel, chapter 3. Verse 1 to 3, and you're going to see this again. Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 80 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. So this was 60 by 6 by 6, this image. He set it up in the plains of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Now, we're not going to get into all of this today. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. He sets this up, then he brings all the people together, all the teachers, the judges, everyone. Then the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, and the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together into the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So we see this image being set up. And then verses 4 to 7. Then an herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up." So this image is set up, then you must worship. "And whosoever falleth not down," in other words, whoever does not have the mark, "and worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people of the nations and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up." Now we know that there was a few who stood up against this, a remnant of the children of Israel. There was more than Daniel's 3 friends who were Israelites in that crowd. Where were they? Why weren't they standing up? This is a warning. We need to be ready for this storm that's coming. We need to be aware of what these things are going to lead to, and we need to heed that warning. God has been giving us warning after warning to prepare for the final events. These young men had prepared. They understood the commission. They understood the command. All the other Israelites ended up bowing, because in the midst of a storm is not when you prepare. When a hurricane's coming and you know it's coming, you put things away, you lock the windows, you shut the doors, you do all these things. But once it hits, there's no going back and preparing. It's too late to prepare. The force of the storm destroys everything in its path. The weak trees and structures, when a storm hits, don't get stronger. They get destroyed. They get taken away in the flood. Only those things that have been built beforehand will be able to weather the storm. And we need to build it on the solid rock, the foundation, the platform that God has laid. So let us take this into consideration. Let us realize that these are very incredible times that we are living in, and we need to be ready for them, and we need to be sharing with everyone what is happening and how this is fulfilling Bible prophecy. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video so that we can get this message to the entire world. Make sure you go to adtv.watch, create a login there, because you're going to be able to go to all our videos and take notes. You can take notes, you can make bookmarks, and it is going to help you immensely with your personal study. So I really encourage you to go do that and to support us in any way you can with your prayers or financial gifts. I believe there's a donate button right over here. And we really appreciate that, because we are 100% donation based. And we are just trying to give the message to the world so that we can prepare people to stand when Jesus arrives. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.